What it is, YouTube, BigTee Wood, back at y'all with another video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, follow your boy, man. You know what time it is. Don't forget, man, to hit the website, man, BigTeeWoodClothingCompany.com. Get you some merch, man. I'm actually waiting on my merch to come in, but I bet it will come in once I'm gone. Once I'm at work, I'm gonna get a package. It's crazy, man. But so, man, a few things, man, updates that I got, man. I know I told y'all, man, I had made an announcement I was gonna have my pull-up and park. It was gonna be in April, man. So things came up, couldn't do it. So we're gonna have it, man, probably June. So June looking like it's gonna be a target month for it. So like I said, man, everything's gonna be added on, man. I'm gonna add a slide event, slide burnout event, car show type, pull up and park, man. So I want to have a big enough space to do the slide show, man. Like I said, gonna be slide at your own risk. That's you, you know what I'm saying? But to keep, to keep stuff down, man, to keep people from, the police come running you off because you're sliding or whatever. Now you have an organized event where you can do it and show your skills, man, show your stuff off and, show your skill set off or whatever the case, man. Slide with nobody running you off. All right. That's a lot of problem with in Memphis, man. A lot of these young cats like to go slide and like to do that, this, that, and the third. But as soon as everything start getting good, the police come run you off. Then y'all running from the police, then you cause an accident, this, that, and the third. So, I'll make it a way, man, where y'all can come have fun, food be on deck, everything will be good, man. And that way, y'all can have your slide event and plus get a trophy for it, man. You know what I mean? So that's coming in June, man. All the details, I'm working out everything right now. Trying to get everything set up. And that way, everything will be cool. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can come out, have fun, man. Bring the family, bring the kids, stuff like that, man. And, enjoy some slide, man, for people that like sliding and like cars and, or people just want to show off their cars, man. There's going to be some things for different people. So it's what it is. It's what it is, man. So that's what we're gonna have, man. So I just want to let y'all know that still going down. Just had some things come up I had to take care of, man. So that's where we at right now. All right, man. In today's video, man, I wanted to talk about someone had made a comment on my truck vlog, man. I was talking to new drivers and stuff like that when it comes to this trucking game. So I'm here today, man. I'm gonna talk about some tanker. These are for my new drivers. If you're thinking about getting into tankers, not everybody want to do dry van, not everybody want to do flatbed, not everybody want to do reefer, stuff like that. So you got different options when it comes to trucking, man. So for the new drivers, man, you're thinking about driving, you're on the fence, or you've been out there, for a couple of months or whatever the case, and you want to switch over to something, man. So I'll give y'all, like I said, I give y'all my raw experience of what I've done in the trucking game, what I've done, stuff I've hauled, trailers I've pulled, different types of trailers I've pulled, everything like that. So talking to the new drivers, man, this is about tank driving, or tanker driving, however you want to say it. But tanker is much different, man, from dry van, the containers and all that stuff, man. It's a lot different. It's way different from that. So when it comes to tanker driving, when it comes to hauling tankers, man, there's different things you can haul in tankers. They got food grade, they got non-food grade stuff, they got fuel, of course, the flammable stuff, man, what it has in the material. They got biofuel, and I hauled biofuel and fertilizer. There's different little things that you can haul, man, in tankers. So, and the different types of tankers, what they consider tankers. They can put tankers inside of, dry vans. They had the little containers, filled with, fuel, gas and stuff like that, man. So, and they put those inside of, and they most time it'll be on an open, like trailer. Some be on flatbed, some be, on the little box type trucks and stuff like that. So you need some kind of endorsement to haul that. But I'll get into that in a little while. But just strictly talking about tanker, the normal, traditional tanker. when, you know, in order to pull tankers, you know, you got to have your endorsement. So that's like, I think it's like a 20 or 25 question test that you got to take. So after you passed all your, you know, your general knowledge and all that kind of stuff, once you did the main parts of the written test, you can go back and add on the endorsements, like, you know, tanker and hazmat, passenger, stuff like that. So I end up adding on, you know, tanker and triples and doubles. So I end up getting those too, man, because you never know, you know, where your career might lead to, where you might fall. You might, you know, you got the endorsement to do that. So with that being said, tankers, man, a lot different. So when you're hauling tankers, man, for instance, I hauled fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, when I first started off, right? I worked with this company, man, out of Cleveland, Mississippi. It was this guy. He had, he had a little small company, a few trucks, you know, no more than like probably 8 to 10 trucks, something like that. And so he was hauling fertilizer and different things and stuff like that with tankers. So I decided to get in on it, you know, want to learn, you know, see what it was. And we was hauling biofuel, man. So just the stuff they use to make the diesel, you know, and stuff like that. So what it was, I was hauling biofuel, but I started with fertilizer first. So he had this liquid fertilizer that he would go out to farms and different farms and you know, deliver fertilizer, you know, for their crops, or, you know, for different things, man, whatever they was planting that season. And so what we would do, man, he had the small tankers, which it was the, you know, the little smooth containers, you know, no baffles and nothing like that, just smooth containers in the inside. So we would go, man, and we would go to these little stations, and we would go line up, and there'd be a guy standing up on a ladder, and, you know, he would tell you how far to pull up, and they had this little hose that goes straight down into the tanker. So the tankers got the valves on the top, so you had to climb up top. You know, they had the little ladders and stuff like that on the side of the tankers. If you ever pass by, you see these tankers, man, you wonder why the little ladders up there. That's why, because you had to go by, you had to climb up and actually climb up and open the valve so you can fill the tank. So we would do that, and or if it was a person up there, they would just open it while they up there, and open the valve up for you. You would go in, you know what I'm saying, they would tell you how many gallons to get, you know what I'm saying, or you would know how many gallons to get, you know, from your paperwork, and they would put so much of it in the tank. And so once they put it in, they would you would never fill it all the way to the top. You know how you get a, you know, say for instance you got a you know, you fill a water bottle all the way to the top, or something that's pressurized like your soda or something like that, and you fill it to the top of the bottle and you try to shake it up, and it's pressure. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do a tank like that. You want to fill it up where the liquid can move back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It's called a surge. So they want, you know, that kind of flow. Now, when you hauling tankers, man, and you're coming up to stop sign, a light, or whatever, and once you're doing that, the tank is going to move. The liquid is going to push. It's going to sway back and forth, and it's going to sway a lot. And so you want to slow down mainly before you get, you know, to any kind of, you know, stop sign, any kind of traffic light, or, you know, even a railroad crossing. So you want to sit there, man, and you want to get that, you know, you want to get that. You want to be able to stop, because if not, you know, what's going to happen is once you stop, man, and once you get that, let's say once you stop, and let me see, man, can I open my, I'll give me a sec. All right, sorry about that, YouTube, back, man. So, but another thing, as soon as you get to a stop sign or a traffic light, or, you know, or something like that, man, ain't want too much light to be in the shot, but you know, you want that fluid is going to sway back and forth, man, in the tank like this. So it's going to be pushing your truck. And so you want to stop well beyond before you get to a stop sign, before you get to a light, or, just anything like that. So you want to slow down way before you get there. And what that does is give you time to stop because the liquid will be pushing you. So, they're not going to really teach you nothing about that in the school. They're going to touch on it a little bit, but for you to get, the endorsement or something like that, you just got to study for the test, answer a few questions. Then if you go out and get a job, that's hauling tanks and stuff like that, man, you'll get your training pretty much there. So with the fertilizer, man, it was like that. And so we would go with these farms. So we had the tanks where you can unload from the side. And it had some you had to unload from the back. It had some, stuff like that. So what you would do, you would get in, get your hose, off your trailer, hook it up, make sure your valves are open at the top, because if you put this, hose on and turn it on and it starts siphoning the liquid out, it's going to crush the tank. Like you get a can and just crush it in your hand. That's how the tank going to be, man. There's so much suction power on it, when you're draining it off, it's ridiculous. But you can very easily mess up your tank, man, and all that. So you don't want to do that. Cost damage, cost the company damage, man. Probably cost you your job. So you kind of want to look at doing it, looking into doing something like that first. You see a lot of companies out there like Quality Carriers, another company that does tankers. Snyder do a lot of tanker stuff. I don't know how they are. I never drove for Snyder, as far as hauling tankers and stuff like that. So I don't know they pay scale. I don't know how well they pay or nothing like that. But going to the refineries and stuff like that, man, I'm gonna touch on that also. Going to the refineries, of course you got to have your TWIC cards, and stuff like that, man. You got to apply for a TWIC card to get a TWIC card. My first couple of times of going in there, I didn't have a TWIC card, so I had to ride with a guy, and he had his to get into the refineries to get loaded. So that's what I did. So going to the refinery, man, it's very slippery, and you had to put on some really thick gloves, man. A lot of protective gear, stuff like that, man, especially when you're dealing with the biofuel and stuff like that. So you want to put on this protection stuff, man, and go into the refineries. And I can tell you now, man, these lines get very long. You think they're long at these shippers with dry vans. A lot of this container stuff, man, gets very tedious, and the lines get very long. So if you're thinking about getting into that, like I said, man, they paid me. I got paid well doing it, but again, it was a small company. Go from big companies to small companies. The smaller companies, the mom and pop type companies, where you got that mom and pop feel, they're going to pay you better than a really large company is going to pay you. You know what I'm saying? So you take this small company that's D&J Transportation, you know what I'm saying, versus Warner Enterprise. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna have all the big time benefits and all this medical stuff, medical insurance, this is that, life insurance, this is that, where Warner will have all that. You know what I'm saying? They'll have all that, so it's good on any end, but you're not getting paid anything. Your medical stuff is not going to pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? So you need money, to pay your bills. You can go out and get your own medical insurance, your life insurance, stuff like that. Because those type of companies, the smaller companies, are going to pay very well. So you have enough money to put back and see and pay your bills and still, have fun. On the other hand, somebody like Warner, Schneider, and all these people, they're not going to have, they're not going to pay you that kind of money. They're going to make money as a company, but as far as paying you, the driver, nah, you're just another number, man. They can take you out the truck, put somebody else in, and keep it pushing. So I would say, man, if you decide to do tankers and stuff like that, man, look into a smaller company first. Places like Quality Care and stuff like that, you gotta be an own operator. I don't know if they have any company drivers. They probably do. But most I've seen, like, guys are own operators and stuff like that. And, of course, you gotta have equipment, man. Talk about your equipment. You're gonna have hard hats, boots, gloves, stuff like that. Most places won't even let you get in unless you got all that kind of stuff. But, everybody go to YouTube University for stuff. So I'd be a part of that YouTube University, man, where people want to know certain things. I touch on certain things that people don't really talk about. They can talk about it in the video, but it's just looking for a specific thing that you're looking for that, hey, that's what I was trying to see, or this, that, and the third. But, you still got to go, man, take that test for the endorsement. Like I say, man, it's easy to study for the test nowadays. Back in the day, man, you had to read this, and when it wasn't YouTube and different things like that. So now people got, the actual test on YouTube or the practice test, stuff like that, where you can go and take a test, man, and see how you do and this, and that, and then go from there. With that being said, just like learning a pre-trip, stuff like that, man, it's on YouTube. But my experience when hauling tankers, man, if you want to do that, that's my experience with it. Like I said, I worked for the guy for a little while. I got my endorsement, man, and I haul biofuel and fertilizer, stuff like that. I went from smaller tanks to bigger tanks, stuff like that, man. And it was a learning experience, man. I drove a Pete. It's a 13-speed. And it was cool, man. I had to learn pretty quickly, put on your hazard lights and stuff like that, man. When you're coming up to the stop sign, you're gonna stop at all railroad crossings. I don't care if it's an old abandoned one, you're still gonna stop at the railroad crossing and stuff like that, man. And so tankers are really, really much different than dry van and containers and stuff like that. Now with tankers on none of there's no. Some tanks you can load onto chassis, like they take some of the tankers and stuff to the rail yards. You see some of these companies hauling those. Some of these different companies can haul those type of tankers where they're some big tanks, and they load them on the chassis and take them to the rail yard. But most of them, they're not going to slide the tandems. The tandems are all the way to the back on most of the traditional tankers. The tandems are all the way to the back, so there's no. You're not gonna really do too much backing when it comes to tankers. You're not gonna do a lot of backing, unless you at your yard or something like that, or you just, swapping trailers and stuff like that. But, at some of these, places that you're going, what's mainly gonna be refineries, you're not doing a whole lot of backing, because everything's gonna be loaded and unloaded, from the top and unloaded from the side. Some of it unloaded from the back, but, with that, man, the tandems are all the way to the back. So you got to watch how you turn. You got to watch how you maneuver, because it's not like you can adjust your tandems like when you're backing in with a dry van or, a container or something like that, or even some of these flatbeds, man, they got split axles. So there's no moving the tandems. So, you want to be able to adjust your, be able to judge when you're backing and stuff like that. If you have to back, just know there's no sliding tandems, none. So, but yeah, man, that's my talking, to the new drivers. If you're thinking about that, if you're thinking about doing tankers, if you're thinking about, hauling tankers, you're on the fence and all that kind of stuff, or you just want a career change, you just want to, not a career change, but, a change in scenery from, as far as from dry van or containers or flatbed, you want to try to do, some container work. Some container work, man. Containers are, pretty good learning experience, man. Some of them pay well. Some places pay well. For, just knowing for certain, I don't know what companies just, really paying good money in tankers. It's just where I was getting paid pretty decent. At least at the time I thought it was, and it was back in like 2000 and like right before I got out of trucking. So it's like 2011, somewhere up in there. And but it was an experience, man. It was good, and I enjoyed it. I was gonna go back into it, but I started teaming. Me and my wife started teaming together, and so we just been doing that ever since. So that's my experience, man, with tankers. Want to know more about it, man? Just comment down below. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, leave a like, man. Hit the subscribe button, man. And I try to bring y'all some free game, man, on a lot of this stuff. A lot of trucking questions, or people like to want to know more about it. What I'm saying, especially for new people. If you're new, you're brand new, you're green, you never drove a truck. You never drove a truck, you never tried to drive a truck, you never knew nothing about a truck. This is for y'all, man. All right, this is for y'all. I'm not talking about the 20-year guys and the this guy, this guy, and the third. You have some guys been driving 20 years and I don't think they drove with drive vans. So it all depends on what you want to do. You know what I mean? But if you're on the fence, man, I would say this: trucking is what you make of it, and you got to get with the right company to that's better for you. Whatever's work for you with your lifestyle. If you're a person that's just like to travel, hey, you probably go to any company and just drive. But if you're a person like to be home a certain time, you want to be at home for certain events, and just be at home to relax or something like that, then you want to kind of shop around and get that perfect fit for your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say right now, this is our perfect fit, man. Still got my weekends. I'm still making pretty, really good money. My company will be starting up next year, so I'm in a good position. I'm on track. I'm on schedule with everything, so I'm good. Man. So that being said, man, comment down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, follow your boy, and make sure, man, you hit the website BigTeeClothingCompany.com, man, get you some merch. Also, man, hit the shop on Instagram, man, BigTeeWard80 on Instagram. Hit the shop, man, shop with your boy. Greatly appreciate it, man, if you do. All right. Shop, man, make a purchase, man. When you get something, wear it, tag me in, man. I tag you on my Instagram. Send me a picture, man, or something like that on my Instagram. I'll make sure I repost, and let me know you got some merch, man, and all that. And we can go from there, man. But it's your boy, BigTee Ward, man. I'm out.